My name is Chris with Headlight Revolution, and behind me I've got a 2018 Ford F150. I'm going to be showing you guys everything you need to know when it comes to upgrading the tail lights and reverse lights on this truck. Let's get started. Alright guys, to get the taillights out of the truck you need an 8mm socket. There are two bolts right here and right here. Pull that out. And then you just pull the taillight toward you. And it's kind of tight. Now I'm just going to be disconnecting the bulbs and taking the taillight completely away from the vehicle. That way it's not hanging here and it's not hitting the paint at all. Set the taillight off to the side. Alright. Now we're going to pull these bulbs out. Just set them off to the side. We won't be using those anymore. You'll notice the top and the bottom are the same bulb, and the center one's your reverse light. We are going to be using the latest and greatest bulbs from GTR Lighting for this. I've got the Armor Series bulbs. They're finally out. We've been waiting for them for a while. And I just want to show you guys how cool this bulb looks. It looks like it could be like a kind of medieval weapon. They call it the Armor Series. Super sharp looking. These things are bright. We've played with them a little bit off camera. You're going to love them. So, with your Armor Series bulbs in hand, let's get on over and get these things plugged in. Now, one thing I really like about the Armor Series bulb is they really snap in there. The last thing you want when you're doing bulbs like this is to go out to your truck one day, look in your taillight, and you see one just hanging out at the bottom of your housing because it fell out. You don't want that. These fit well. I mean, you can probably hear the click on camera. Now, grab a white one for our reverse light. Get that plugged in. Let's test them out, make sure they fire up. If for some reason you try these out and they don't turn on, they are polarity specific. Just pop it out, flip it around, plug it in the other way. We're not quite out of the woods yet. We have to wire in resistors in order to make these turn signals work properly. If we don't use resistors, we'll get a fast blink as if a bulb is burned out. You don't want that. You want this to work just like it did before. So, I've got this resistor kit from GTR Lighting. Included are the resistors themselves. We've got T-taps, if you wanted to use them, and we've got screws to mount the resistors. It's important to mount the resistors to metal if you can. The reason being, they do get pretty warm. If they're zip tied to wires or anything like that, it's not going to be good for you. So mount them to metal. There's plenty of metal back here. I like to put a screw in this right from the beginning. That way it's easier to get it drilled in. If you go all the way to the left, closest to this side sheet metal here, you won't risk drilling into the box of the truck. And the last thing you want to do is have a screw poking through the box of your brand new truck. Cool. Alright, if you mount these resistors like I've shown here, you won't have any trouble. You won't poke through the box. They're going harmlessly into the wheel well area. No problems there. So, we're going to go ahead and cut a little bit of this loom back and expose the wiring inside. Now, if you look at this plug for the turn signal, you'll see that there are three wires. There's a brown wire, yellow wire, and a black wire. Now, we're going to be tying into the black and the brown wire. However, you'll see if you follow this harness up that they change colors. So, you can map them out and see which pin the brown pin goes to over here, and you'll see this brown pin goes to, looks like we've got a gray and orange, gray with an orange stripe. Our black wire goes to black and yellow, and the other brown goes to a blue and green. Now, this is no replacement for properly testing your wires. It's very important to properly test these. I tested them with a multimeter off camera. You should do the same. In this case, the two black wires combine and go to a black with yellow stripe. So one side of our two resistors, one wire from each, is going to go to that black with yellow. You can either use T-taps to connect to this, or you can solder it. We prefer to solder it. It's a better connection. Now, one of those browns went to a gray with orange, or a silver with orange. That's here. The other one went to a blue with green, and that's here. So at this time you can strip those back as well. At this point you have two resistor wires left over. The first two are connected to that black with yellow. Take one of the remaining wires and connect it to your silver with orange. And take the last one and connect it to your blue with green. Now I'm going to solder these up real quick and we can tape them up and keep on moving. So this is what it breaks down to. We've got our black with yellow, and that has two resistor wires going to it, one from each resistor. We've got our blue with green, and that has a wire coming to it from only one of the resistors. And we've got our silver with orange, which has the last resistor wire coming from the last resistor. This will make it so we don't have fast blink. Turn signals will function properly. So at this point I like to try to pack everything back into the factory loom as best I can. Now, since we've added so many wires, not everything's going to fit. That's just the way it is, but this is kind of what we're left with. We can go ahead and run some new electrical tape over it to keep it all together, keep it from chafing on anything. Plug this back in, and we'll bring our taillight back over. Now's the time to reinstall your bulbs. They go back in the same way they came out. Turn them in clockwise, everything's fine. Now just reinstall the taillight and we'll give it one final test to make sure everything's working properly. Now I know it gets a little daunting there with those resistors. I know there's a lot of wiring. Ultimately you've got two resistors. One wire from each goes to your black with yellow, and then one wire from one resistor goes to your silver and orange. The other one goes to your blue and green. It's really not too complicated. Once you get into it, you'll understand what's going on. I can assure you that what I've shown you today is the best possible option for the taillights in your truck. Not only that, but the reverse lights are something to behold, especially at night, especially you're backing up a trailer. You're gonna love them. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for what else we've got going on this truck.